Hello everyone, another day for 30 minutes missions. It's number 44, the Revernova in green. It's 1 to 44 scale, so it'll fit in with your high grade and real grade Gundams. And you can see here some nice poses. You can mix and match parts with other model kits. And you don't really need glue, it's all friction fit. It is recommended to use nippers though, or you're going to have really ugly stretch marks in the plastic. Put that aside, just get through the instructions. So, if you want to pause the video, there's a little story about this particular robot, I guess. And then this is some sort of story about, I think, 30 minutes missions, maybe? I don't actually read those so much. Instructions say this is 2022. The box says... yeah, the box says the same on the outside. I had a model kit where the box had an earlier year than the instructions. So maybe they update the instructions to be even clearer. Alright, yeah, you can see it here. A couple options to mix and match other parts. They have option kits, so you can make it look totally different, basically. But you gotta buy the stuff. Smart marketing. Here are all the runners. And simple instructions. Just look at the parts and the arrows and put it together. So you can put this together in maybe 40 minutes, 30 minutes. It depends after how much practice you have. So speaking of which, let me fast forward this and we'll get to the C at the end. So here we are, and it was a very straightforward build. There were no problems that I can recall, not off the top of my head, no. There are 4 extra bits that will never be used. It's 2 extra hip joints, but very short hip joints. The ones on there are longer or extend further. And then these belong on like different types of feet, but they just they'll never be used. These 3 extra parts you can peg on in a couple places. So this backpack, well, it's not really even a backpack. It's just mounting points. You can use that central pin there and you can mount it low here if you want. Or it's got the 2 and you could then, I guess, it's kind of a backpack. So it only has one 3mm point there and 2 of the take the C clips. Alright. And then these armor pieces, the instruction calls them for them to be on the hips, but yeah, they can pretty much peg in anywhere you want, right? So it's up to you. But I guess it does look nice. Well, it's going to limit the arm articulation, so I like to put them down here, maybe like that. Okay, so that is that. You can see that this weapon here, this rifle, it can actually be held by both hands. This thing pivots, so let me start breaking that out. So let's do this gun thing. So yeah, I can rotate that, but I'm not a fan of this interface. You know, these tabs are so short. Look at this. It just doesn't want to be one piece, right? They should really go to a round peg system like the rest of the body. The magazine is nice that you can peg that on somewhere else. I guess you could also make it a top-loading machine gun, like an old German machine gun. And that comes apart. But sadly, this is all one piece. This barrel doesn't come off, so that kind of looks weird without a barrel. But that'll be interesting. It doesn't fit there. It's a different size rectangle, so that's kind of weird also. Having all these weird interfaces. Okay, so the robot itself is pretty chunky, especially these are the largest feet I think I've seen in 30 minutes missions. Really small dome head here, and you can sit it flush and rotate it, or it can raise up because the neck articulates. So yeah, that's pretty neat. It's very well protected. The shoulder has this butterfly in the torso, and then this ball peg of the shoulder has this armor piece which pivots up and down and rotates on that. Sorry, my cat's underneath this table. The shoulder has a hinge, so it can come out, but you see, nothing really traps the ball into the torso, so this thing just falls out all the time. It's very annoying, actually. I'm not a fan of it. Okay, you could clip something there if you wanted to, but this doesn't have any C-clips. You could clip something there as well. You can rotate this. Let's get this out of here. So this will rotate. It's just really tight right now, being a new model. Yeah. All right. And then the arm will bend further than 90 degrees, which is quite good for a single hinge. So that's nice. Mounting there, and then this hand at a peg. Ball peg. There's only two hands. There's no extra hands, so they're both grabby hands. Alright, so it might be advisable to just mount that first, and then mount this armor piece on top of that. This is a lot of colliding though. Right. But not so much gap, so it looks nice. Yeah, I think I just put that arm on backwards. Okay, that'll loosen up hopefully over time. The torso, there's a polycap ball up there, and it's trapped. It doesn't want to. It can't fall out like some of the other ones. It's out right now, but it can't fall apart. So that's a good design right there. You can get good side to side, and decent ab crunch, a little bit back as well. Okay. And then this, there's a polycap at the bottom of the torso. Let's see if I can pull it apart. It's down there, but you can obviously rotate this, and that helps also. If you don't put the peg all the way in, it'll help extend the crunch. Alright. These little armor flaps will fold up and help clear the legs. Same with these, but it does collide. See, so not too much clearance there. You can remove them though entirely if you want. Those side armor pieces. Okay, so I guess we'll look at the hip here. Here's the extended hip joint here compared to the normal one. You'll see this is just flat, right? So with the extension, the ball is pushed further out, and that, I guess, is to help clear these super wide feet. Alright, so you can pivot that thing forward or back, raising and lowering the hip. which rotates on a peg on that, and then it hinges out as well. Like, pretty good amount actually before it collides with that side armor. So actually, you could do a full split if you get rid of this thing. Yeah. Get that hip joint down. Yeah, negative split. So that's pretty impressive actually for something so chunky. Alright, so then this has a poly cap, so you can pivot it in any direction you wish and rotate it as well. And then we have a double hinge here for the kneecap. And for such a bulky leg, I guess, it folds on over itself. And then you have a C-clip here with a poly cap going into the foot, so you can move this thing back and forth, and then the poly cap will allow a good amount of side-to-side rocker and rotation and all that stuff. So for something this bulky, it's actually pretty impressive. That seems to be the max the poly cap wants to go. Around that much as far as a leg split goes with both feet on the ground. So yeah, maybe I'll double up my knee armor here. Yeah, so you can hide that knee gap even further if it's in the standing position. So that's pretty much it that I can see. You can put a C-clip here if you want. The rest look like 3mm peg holes, and you can even use the molding sprue because those are 3mm. Here's a molding sprue. Right, so you can, hey, look at that, it just made a cool little over shoulder cannon. Get this out of the way. So posing wise, yeah, you can get decent posing out of these things. Just be mindful that the things will pop out of the sockets pretty easily. But with these giant feet, look at that. Yeah, not bad, not bad. So it's nice to have these huge feet. So all in all, it's a pretty good one. I like this one. Mainly because it's actually kind of simple. It's also the first one I have, I think, with a rifle. I think most of the other ones I have came with like bazooka looking things. This looks more like a traditional long rifle. I only wish it was tighter, the thing just doesn't want to stay straight because of those silly rectangular tabs. Anyways, thanks for watching today. I'll see you in the next 30 minutes missions video.